Hi, this is John Costa. We're here at the Documentary Media Centre in Leicester in the UK, and I've been joined by my colleague, Tina Barton. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
Good, good. So normally you'll see me when we do the network bulletins every month, where we talk about what we've been up to with the network, maybe a few things that we've got coming up. And what you might have seen over the last couple of months is obviously us doing some training for people. So, we've done some radio and new training for Dr. Ahmed with his colleagues at the Media Training Centre in Iraq, in Diwanir, how to get on the radio, how to write a report, that kind of stuff, how to do some investigation. And then also we've had some training that relates to language, some language training as well, specifically conversational English. And there's lots of things that are going on behind the scenes when we're talking to various network members about what they want to do. And what came out of a particularly large event that we did earlier in the summer, you may remember, for WACIT, the global network, when we were working with South Africa, Kenya, Brazil, and Pakistan, was this desire to have some maybe pre-event training as well. So rather than just working on these big events, how we get to talk to people in their build up to it. And that's why I've asked Tina to join us today, because Tina will be taking a bit of a lead on some of the pre-developmental work when it comes to events that we're planning, and particularly with one network member at the moment. And really, I wanted to catch up with you what kind of things that we can offer across the network as well to people.
Okay, so off the back of the recent newsroom that you delivered with Panos earlier on in the year, we've kind of started to develop a concept for an event called Turn Up the Volume with the WACIT Youth Advisory Board. And on initial discussions there, we realised that, like you said, if we were going to go on and support the network to kind of run their own events and feel empowered to actually kind of share and talk more kind of meaningfully, if you like, about the things that actually happen on the ground, there needed to be some kind of initial support. So where we're at the moment is kind of developing a Turn Up the Volume event, which will be a youth-led event, which will hopefully be launched in November and run through December, January, and finish with a 12-hour newsroom in February, fingers crossed, which will showcase a lot of content. But there's a bit of a journey for us to kind of get to the February event. And in order for that to be a success, we've come up with kind of several workshops and training events that we will make available for free through the network. And these are training events and workshops that hopefully will support the young people, the WACIT youth advisors, through their own networks, to actually empower people to tell their stories more confidently, find out about lots of free tools and templates and apps that already exist to kind of help them to gather news and stories and capture the impact of actually the work that's taking place. So hopefully we'll be doing workshops around digital storytelling, understanding how to capture content with confidence, because we know that there's an awful lot of fantastic work that's being delivered throughout the world and the network. And what I get really passionate about is helping those individuals to access the tools and confidence to do that in a much more easier way that's going to benefit them, benefit their organisations, and actually get more people to be aware of the fantastic work that's taking place.
Yeah. Now, I remember when we were having our initial conversations about setting the network up, we were saying that, the membership for NGOs and charities and, people that were doing really good work out on the ground was going to be one of the things that were going to drive the network forward. But we wanted this training element to sit next to it, not where we ran courses or sessions that people, just signed up for or attended and all that sort of stuff, but more about what was needed by individual members or groups of members that knew each other already, or that we could introduce in different locations that needed specific content like social media use. I just made a note as you were talking there about the guys in Pakistan from that World Photography Day event, where actually they brought about 10 or 12 different organizations together to contribute on that day. But what they suddenly realized was the value was that was the beginnings of a network. And out of those people, there were people that were already running storytelling, introductions to telling stories on smartphones, filmmaking and stuff like that. So that kind of network already that they didn't realize existed. So it's not about us telling people what to do. It's more about helping people to identify some of the things they'd like and to see whether we can do it between our own skill sets. And of course, the other person or group of people that can join the network are network associates. So these are people that are issue experts or already, good at filmmaking, good at photography, social media influencers that want to provide opportunities for people to draw on their knowledge and support the network in that way. So we're looking to create that network associate side as well, aren't we?
Yes, I think the clear passion around the training aspect of the Parallel Lives Network was always about kind of utilising our own skills and expertise to share with others, but actually doing that within the network as well, because we were aware that the network is full of highly experienced people who have got a lot of skills and enthusiasm and motivation and experiences. And it's about sharing what they do with others and actually using the Parallel Lives Network as a vehicle to actually achieve that, making sure that we are supporting those people to amplify their voices, tell the stories that matter, instead of news agencies and, big media corporations coming in and actually blurring the messages or not celebrating and sharing the stories that should be told. So I think what I'm excited about working with the WACIT youth advisors is, running an event, sharing our skills, seeing how that goes, and actually, going on that journey with them and hopefully empowering lots of other people to feel confident about having a voice, actually capturing those stories, but also most crucially is getting them out on the right platforms to the right audiences. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. They kind of convince themselves that they need their stories or, information about their projects to be on big news sites. And actually that is not where they're going to get the most success.
Engagement.
Yeah. So that all of those things, I think, is part and parcel of why the training element of the Parallel Lives Network is so crucial, because it's the complementing all the organisations that are part of the network by providing them. And it's not just us providing that, like you say, we'll be working with other network members and industry professionals who will come and share their skills and expertise with other people, with the hope that they then become more empowered and enthused to tell those stories in a real creative way.
Okay, and then finally, what we'd like to do as well with each training opportunity is not just make it a one-off attend or even film it and watch it later with no one, but actually kind of break it down into bite-sized bits where maybe there's a couple of sessions at a time convenient to network members, which is great because we've got so many different places across the world. You've got to be able to do it at a flexible time. Is to break it down into like bite-sized chunks. So there's tasks that are involved as well. You can go off, test things as well. It's not about suddenly becoming perfect, but there's also templates. So like downloadable templates that you can then use, reminders going forward of how to do things and go on that journey. I think it's never, this is training, therefore you can do it. It's more about, well, what do you want? Let's try it, let's test it out, and here's some things, and then we're here to support going forward.
I think another crucial element of the Parallel Lives Network, the training element as well, is the onus is on the partners of the Parallel Lives Network as well to actually be quite vocal and ask and actually, share with us their training needs and their workshop needs, because we have got a vast amount of people that support the network. And if there is a need and it's a a need throughout the network, then we can respond to that and actually put on those training and workshops. So I suppose, as well as sharing what we do, it's a plea to members of the network to say, get in touch, tell us how we can help. And
or if you want to share your own experience with others as well, because I think, it's when people have got experience of doing things or running training sessions themselves, particularly in low resource settings where, you might not have access to the Wi-Fi, for example, when you go out and deliver some of your training. What other tools are you using that are very kind of practical to be able to do that?
And the same with events. So, we wouldn't have been delivering the Turn Up the Volume event with the WACIT Youth Advisory guys over the next few months without doing that initial newsroom with Panos. So there could be network organisations out there and partners who have an idea of doing an event, but need that extra bit of support, and reach out to us, let us know what your ideas are and if we can help.
Right. Particularly if it doesn't link to anything that's a big international day as well. If it's something that we can help you that you're doing locally or regionally or nationally in the country that you're located, I think that's really good as well, not just the big international events. So that's the training. Lots of information will start going up on the website, on a blog post as well. And hopefully this has just been you found this useful and interesting to find out about what we're going to be doing. And, it's a work in progress. So please come on that journey with us. Thank you.